Hey guys, welcome to Boyz Houze Take the Floor. I hope you had a good week. I hope you got a good weekend. It's a beautiful day today. It's actually been a beautiful last few days. I had said over a month ago that I didn't care what that groundhog said. Spring was coming. It's interesting that there's like an entire sector of America who blindly has been following the Puxatawny family for years. And most of them are some of the same people who won't listen to the CDC guidelines. Welcome to America. Speaking of Coming to America, over the weekend I watched Coming to America 2. And I watched it with a group of millennial friends, so they had never seen the actual first movie. So we watched them back to back. And I realized watching them in such close succession, I was able to actually realize that the first movie was actually funnier. And I think it was longer than the second movie too. The second movie, I felt like, was literally almost the exact same plot line with a slightly different story. It was a nice update though. The graphics, like visually, it was 1,000 times better than the first one. But overall, it was a good family movie, which there aren't many of those anymore. What else did I do over the weekend? I had the Wawa burger. If you live in the tri-state area or Florida and maybe even Georgia now, and you haven't tried Wawa's new burger and fries, it's almost gourmet. Like, it's some of the best fast food, the best fast food burger I've had in a long time. The fries are very starchy. They kind of actually have a consistency of maybe Five Guys with a different flavor. But yeah, I think it's like $5 now. So if you're in that area and you haven't tried the burger, go to Wawa, try the burger. It's definitely good. What else did I do this weekend? Oh, before I forget, I just want to also say a happy belated birthday to my firstborn godchild, my goddaughter Lily. I hope you had a good birthday. Her birthday was on Monday. Happy birthday, beautiful. I want to tell you guys a story that happened to me a few days ago. So I was at work. My shift was supposed to end at 6. And at around 5:45, we got a client. And they're wandering around the building. And I don't mind leaving late, but that particular day I had an important dinner date at 7:30. And I also had to make 2 stops on the way home. And both would require that I had to let people know, obviously, that I was going to be late. So around 6:10, 6:20, clients are still in the building. So I start looking for my phone because I'm like, I got to let people know I'm going to be late so they don't just, think I'm blowing them off. So I start walking around the building, can't find my phone. I'm retracing my steps, going everywhere I've been, can't find my phone. So there were 3 other coworkers left in the building. 2 of the coworkers who had been there were also supposed to leave at 6 and they had already left. One by one, they all start helping me try to find my phone. Then my direct supervisor, she starts looking for it. We're all walking around trying to find this phone. The clients are still in the building, so I keep going back and forth with them. At about 6:35, we got a phone call. Actually, my supervisor got a phone call on her cell phone from one of the coworkers who had already left at 6. I think I accidentally took somebody's phone. So my supervisor goes, yeah, it's Mykel's phone, and they go back and forth, and she wants to know if she can bring it back tomorrow. And so I heard her repeat it, and then she goes, and my supervisor is a really nice lady. She reminds me of Sally Field. And she really nice and trying to not to inflame this situation anymore, because obviously you have someone's cell phone. It is important to note, though, that I personally am not a big phone person. So, you won't see me in my phone all day, or, if I'm in my phone, I'm in my phone, but my phone is not ever a distraction. The only reason it was important to me at that moment is because people were waiting on me, so I wanted them to know why I would be late, so they didn't just think, I had disappeared or, died or something. But I don't really care about the phone really that much, but in that instance, it was annoying. So she says to the coworker, Mykel kind of needs his phone. So she tells her she's out at dinner. So she says, well, where are you at? He'll meet you there. She's in Hightstown. Now, where we are located, I'm probably about 35 minutes away from where Hightstown was. And then I live about another 35 minutes the opposite direction of where Hightstown would be. So there's like a short back and forth conversation, and we decide she's going to figure it out and give us a call back. I go back to the clients, and now it's probably like 6:45, because not that much time had passed for all of this to be happening, but obviously every minute that I'm supposed to be somewhere else feels like an hour. So I go back up to the desk to see my supervisor, and I'm like, has anyone called back? Like, what's the deal? So, no. So she calls her back, and she says, we'll call her Rita, because I don't want to give her name out. So she says, Rita, are you done? Almost done with dinner? Like, how far along are you? And she responds, and she looks at me, my supervisor, in this, like, I don't even want to tell you what she just said. So she's like, she said she is just sat down and just got her salad. So at this point, I'm super frustrated. I have somewhere to be. No one knows where I am. So should have told them already that I'm on my way. And she's offering to bring back my phone the next day, and she just sat down for her salad. So I literally, just to keep from exploding, I said, I'm just gonna leave. So I went home. When I got home, I have another prepaid cell phone that I keep. I've had it for like 3 years, which is ancient, obviously, in technology, but it's a prepaid smartphone that I just keep just in case there's something that happens to my phone in the interim of me waiting for my insurance replacement. So I get that turned on, super slow by any standard. It's 3 years old now. I'm trying to download any app so I can let people know I don't have my phone, get in touch with the people I need to get in touch with. And of course, I can't remember any passwords, so I got to get into this email. To get into this email, you got to get into this email. It was such a process. Probably by around like 7:30, I finally got into that old phone, got into a few apps where I could contact people, and I think at that point, in reference to the important dinner date, I had been blocked. So when people ask, hey Mykel, why are you single? This is my life, folks. Oh, Rita. So, what else happened over the weekend? How was you guys' week? I know vaccinations are really big. It's like crazy now. You can't talk about the vaccine because it's a very political issue. So you can't even ask your friends, have you been vaccinated? Because I have no comment to that because I'm kind of over parenting adults. The stimulus finally, after a year, the government has decided, hopefully, to pass a bill that will give most of us $1,400 after they gave us a measly $1,800 over the course of a year. And a lot of people, like, have already lost their cars, their home. Like, what is this money going to do for people now? And I do want to add that that bill potentially is getting passed with zero Republican support. I won't make a comment about that either. But I did make a mental note, and it's filed, and I won't forget it. You should also, after a year, no support. Very interesting. The other big news this week, we all woke up Monday. I had watched it, so I knew it would be Meghan Markle and Oprah. Good interview. We all knew how Oprah is. We knew it would be a decent interview. What I'll say about the content of the interview is I would consider myself a student of psychology. So everything about the history in terms of how humans have interacted with each other is literally like psychology basics, psychology 101. This is a group of people who are still kings and queens. They live in a kingdom. Do you think they're thinking and their thought process and their operation might be antiquated? Perhaps. So nothing she said really was shocking or, it's pretty believable. But what I noticed in the days after watching the interview and hearing what people had to say, not only in my personal life but on television, is that a lot of people seem to not like Meghan Markle. And it almost like her personally. You don't like Meghan Markle. They've created entire narratives of her life and who she is. She is an opportunist, and she just has insinuated her way into the life of the prince because she wanted to be a princess. I had someone tell me just yesterday that she is just trying to prove to the world that she can make Prince Harry do anything that she wants him to, even walk away from his family. And it's like, where are you getting that new, who told you, are you friends with her? Where are you guys just, and it's all usually women who are saying this. Interesting. But I don't understand where people are just jumping to this conclusion based on nothing as usual. But this is what people do because I guess their own lives are boring. But what I do think will be interesting is seeing how the royals and the firm, or the association as she calls it, how they respond. I know the Queen has said that she's deeply saddened by the comments, etc., etc. But I just want to see how it plays out over the next few months, because I'm sure this is not the last we're going to hear about all of this. And the race questions and the skin color issue. Come on. The crazy thing, though, about that whole conversation is Meghan Markle is fairer skinned than me. And I'm not very dark skinned. How dark could that baby possibly come out that you're worried about the darkness in pigment of the baby's skin? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. The other thing everybody's talking about is this story with Dancing with the Stars. What I find is that nobody seems to see the same things I'm seeing. So this is one of the only seasons. I do like Dancing with the Stars, but I'm not a consistent watcher. I probably, over the last, I don't know how many years they've been on, 20, 22 years, watched maybe 6 seasons collectively. But it depends on who's on it. I'm not going to just watch Dancing with the Stars. I did watch the last season, because what else was there to do last year? And so I kind of knew the cast and knew about it. And so when I heard this story about Chrishell and Gleb possibly, it is what it is, and I 100% believe maybe that's what's happened. It's just interesting to me that they both deny that that's what happened, and then not even 3 weeks later you're in a relationship with Keo. Now I'm not going to make any assumptions about Keo, because I don't like to make assumptions at all about people. But usually when I do, they tend to be true. I just don't see Keo as the type of person to be dating Chrishell. That's all I'll say about that. And it seems very oddly timed that you magically got into a relationship with this Keo, who I don't think is someone who would date Chrishell. And then a month and a half later, you guys break up because of some lie he told you. Okay, because that wasn't a real relationship. It was to distract from the fact that you were probably actually indeed cheating with Gleb. That's all I have to say about that, because that's really all I know about the story. But the optics of it seem logical that that's what that is, based on the fact that, again, I don't think Keo is the type of person who would be dating Chrishell. What else do I have to talk about? Everybody wants me to talk about The Bachelor. I'm not going to talk about The Bachelor. I don't watch The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. I don't understand people who go on television to find love. You're not going on television to find love. We know why you're going on television, and everybody's so shocked when after 1 year, 2 years, 6 months, these relationships end. I don't understand it. Because, come on, guys. I understand we're living in a little bit of a fantasy when we watch these shows, but when you're no longer watching these shows, wake up and live in the reality of what the show actually is there for. Come on. But yeah, I'm not going to talk about The Bachelor. You guys talk about The Bachelor. If you watch The Bachelor, tell me what you think about The Bachelor, and I'll comment about what your comments are. But I'm not going to talk about The Bachelor. The Grammys are on Sunday, though, guys. And more importantly, before I talk about the Grammys, as you're watching this, The Masked Singer that premiered tonight is airing. And you better be watching The Masked Singer. If you didn't watch the premiere tonight, make sure you watch next Wednesday on Fox. I told you, that's my show. It literally is like my show. Make sure you're watching it. But the Grammys, Sunday night, hosted by Trevor Noah. I love Trevor Noah. Should be a good show. We all know the Grammys is a little bit of a nonsense organization at this point, and very few people even take them seriously, but I love to be entertained, and it should be an entertaining show. Obviously, I'm a musical person, so the Grammys is a big deal for anyone who is a singer and recording, writes music. So I'm sure lots of my friends will be talking about the Grammys, will be watching the Grammys. Let me know what you guys think of that, and we'll see you guys next week. Up next, Tommy K and Jesse are going to have an interesting conversation, as they always do, and we'll be right back on Boyz Houze Take the Floor. Stay here, guys.